Khloe Kardashian described it as difficult to be overseen by her mother, Kris Jenner. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. When Khloe Kardashian and her sister Kourtney first started their journey into the world of fame, things didn't feel as easy or exciting as people might think. Long before they became the celebrities everyone recognizes today, they had a difficult time adjusting to how things were unfolding, especially because their own mother, Kris Jenner, was not only their parent but also acting as their manager. This situation made things quite complicated and emotional for them in the beginning. Even though the Kardashian family became popular through their reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which first aired in 2007, the path leading up to that point was not so smooth for everyone in the family. Khloe Kardashian opened up about this topic on her podcast called Khloe in Wonderland, and she gave some honest reflections about how things used to be. She explained that in the early days, she and Kourtney did not want to be part of the show at all. They didn't think it was something they would enjoy or benefit from. In fact, when Kim and Kris first brought up the idea of doing the show, Khloe and Kourtney pushed back strongly. They told them clearly that they had no interest in being filmed. But Kris and Kim were very determined and told them they had to be on the show. They didn't have much of a choice. Kris Jenner was also a guest on the podcast episode, and she agreed with what Khloe said. She confirmed that she had told all her daughters they were going to do the show. At the time, everyone believed the show would only run for one season, so there wasn't too much concern about it becoming a long-term commitment. But after it began, the family quickly realized that the show was going to be something much bigger, and that came with new challenges. One of the most difficult parts for Khloe was figuring out how to separate her mother from her manager. She shared that it was really hard for her to accept that her mom could tell her what to do in a professional setting. It didn't feel natural for her. She would feel defensive whenever Kris gave her instructions because she still saw her as just her mother. She even admitted that it took her years to finally understand that her mom was also working in a different role when it came to their careers. Khloe remembered moments where she felt confused about how to react when Kris gave orders. She said she respected her mom, of course, but not as someone who could boss her around. On the other hand, Kim always seemed to be comfortable with Kris giving directions, and they had a smoother understanding of how to work together in that way. Khloe, however, needed time and experience to reach that same level of understanding. Everything started to make more sense for Khloe after she became a mother herself. Having her own kids, True and Tatum, helped her change how she saw her mom's role. She began to understand the balance her mother had to maintain between being a parent and a business manager. This new perspective allowed Khloe to separate Kris into two different parts in her mind, one as her mother and the other as her manager. Once she did that, things became less stressful for her, and their relationship improved a lot. Khloe shared that even though they always had love and care for each other, the mix of personal and business roles made their relationship complicated at times. It was not about not loving her mom, but more about how to navigate such a tricky situation. Trying to switch between family conversations and work discussions wasn't something she found easy. There were times she wanted to just relax and enjoy a regular family dinner, but Kris would bring up work, and it would instantly change the mood. Kris herself admitted that it was a tough transition. She knew that learning when to act like a manager and when to simply be a mom was a big challenge for her as well. The two of them had to work through those moments together. Khloe even said that knowing when to turn off the work talk and just be a family was one of the hardest things for her to figure out. These kinds of conversations between a mother and daughter show that fame and success don't come without emotional struggles. It may look glamorous from the outside, but behind the scenes, there are real issues that need to be faced. Having a parent manage your professional life can be confusing and frustrating, especially when it starts to change how you see each other. Khloe's honesty about her journey with Kris also gives people a better understanding of what their family has gone through over the years. They didn't just wake up one day and become famous. They had to deal with a lot of personal adjustments, difficult conversations, and emotional learning. Khloe said that in the beginning, it felt like Kris was trying to order her around, and she didn't respond well to that at all. But with time, she began to grow and understand that Kris was not trying to be bossy, but simply trying to help guide their careers. Having children changed a lot of things for Khloe. She began to see things from a different point of view and realized that being a mom and managing someone's career can be very hard to balance. When she looked back at all the years her mother had to manage multiple children and keep a household and business running, she started to feel more empathy and respect for her. She also pointed out that even when she wanted to speak to Kris about work-related things, it could be difficult because Kris would either get defensive or bring up those topics at times that didn't feel appropriate. It wasn't always easy to find the right time or mood for those talks, which made communication hard at times. Now, many years later, Khloe and Kris have found a way to manage their unique relationship much better. They've created a better balance between work and family life, and they've both learned how to communicate more clearly. The early struggles helped them grow into the close and supportive team they are today. Khloe no longer sees Kris as someone trying to control her, but rather as someone who helped her build a successful life and career, even if it took time for her to appreciate it. This story is a good reminder that even families who appear perfect on television have their ups and downs. It also shows how important it is to be patient with each other, especially when working together in both personal and professional roles. Things may not always start off easy, but with time, understanding, and communication, relationships can grow stronger. Khloe's experience also gives hope to others who may be going through something similar. It's okay to feel unsure or frustrated when roles in a family change or become more complicated. What matters most is being willing to talk about it and work through the challenges. Her story is not just about fame or business, but about how love and patience can help overcome confusion and conflict. The Kardashian family's journey continues to inspire many people around the world. Even though they live very public lives, moments like this one between Khloe and Kris help fans see the human side of their story. It's not always about the spotlight. Sometimes, it's about figuring out how to live and work together in a way that feels fair, loving, and respectful. And that's a message many people can relate to, no matter where they come from. Khloe's honesty about her journey with Kris also gives people a better understanding of what their family has gone through over the years. They didn't just wake up one day and become famous. They had to deal with a lot of personal adjustments, difficult conversations, and emotional learning. Khloe said that in the beginning, it felt like Kris was trying to order her around, and she didn't respond well to that at all. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.